Hamaguchi. I'm a pro fighter. We are watching live boxing in Florida. It's on DAZN, so if you have that service, you can stream it. Of course, there's other streaming services that you can access. We just finished watching a 10-round fight between lightweight Corey Marksman versus junior lightweight, really, Jacob Gomez. Jacob Gomez was, as I was pointing out previously, he's most definitely an opponent brought in to lose to the local favorite, Corey Marksman. Both fighters were undefeated, so on paper, Gomez looks like a legit valid opponent. I think he's like 14-0 with one draw. Gomez hails from Puerto Rico. I'm not sure if he resides in Puerto Rico. I'm guessing he probably lives in the United States, so that way they don't have to deal with visas and flying him in and all that jazz. So he's kind of the perfect opponent because he's been asked to move up to 135. Most of his fights have been at 130 pounds, including his two previous fights. So here's a real pertinent, relevant fact that the fight commentary team decides not to mention, right? Like Chris Mannix, Sergio Mora, and whoever the heck else is on that desk, they just didn't even bother mentioning that Gomez typically fights at 130 pounds. And I think it's Chris Mannix who had the audacity to say that Gomez just wasn't as intelligent as Marksman is. And it's like, that's so wrong. First of all, you don't comment on somebody's intelligence based on what's going on in the ring. I mean, you can refer to ring IQ if you wish, but if you've never fought, trust me, you don't know what the heck a ring IQ is. But to imply that because he's supposed to be, he's fighting a weight division above his proper weight division. So the fact that he's not performing well doesn't really reflect on his intelligence. It reflects on the fact that he's been asked or forced or coerced into fighting 5 pounds heavier than normal. I don't know. Anyways, that's my rant. We're waiting for a super middleweight or super welterweight fight between Omari Jones and Christian Gomez. That's going to be over 8 rounds. And then finally, in the main event, this is for the WBC middleweight title. We're going to have Carlos Adames versus Austin Williams. Hi, how are you guys doing? Thanks for saying hi. It's always good to know who's here. We are watching live boxing taking place in Florida. This is a Matchroom boxing card. It's streaming on DAZN right now, so if you want to tune in and turn down the Sergio Mora, Chris Mannix, who doesn't know how to wear a tie team, then you're welcome to do that and just listen to my commentary if you like. We just finished watching a 10-round matchup between a hometown or home state favorite, Corey Marksman. He took on Jacob Gomez, who, as I pointed out, was moved up from 130 to 135 to take on Marksman and wound up on the short side of a decision. That was not unpredictable. Okay, so Marksman is carrying around a belt. It must be a minor belt because it can't be a world title, seeing as that was only 10 rounds. So let's see. Yeah, there's no mention of a belt here. So I don't know where he got that trinket from, but so be it. Okay, so up next we have Omari Jones from the US and Christian Gomez, who fights out of Mexico. How are you doing, Carlos? Good to see you. Thanks for joining. I appreciate that, Carlos. I am a little bit tired, to be honest, from all the sparring this morning. I haven't even figured out if I sparred 8 rounds or 9 or 10, but it was plenty. My goal was to get in at least 8 rounds, so I'm pretty sure I did that. You missed my take on the UFC card? Yeah, I did post that. I did make a little short video saying I wasn't going to be able to cover it because I had to go spar this morning. That was a live, or not a live, that was a little short that was posted at about 4 a.m. Pacific time. So I'm gonna have to watch back that UFC card, Mickey D, and I will do that. Looks like MVP won, but he didn't put on a exciting performance, from what I understand. And in the main event, Evloev won. I was kind of rooting for Lerone Murphy, but so be it. And then I also heard that there was a judoka on that card who knocked out his opponent in less than half a minute. So I do want to check that one out as well. Yeah, Mickey, yeah, thanks for mentioning that. I figured it would be a good card. Oh, Carlos, you're watching Leslie Martinez. Let me see if I can find a stream for that. Is that fight any good, Carlos? Oh, it's not on yet. Okay. Thanks. Let me just see. All right, by the way, what do you guys think of Derek Chisora versus Shot Bronze Bomber? All right, I found a stream for Martinez Alim, so Carlos, thanks for that. I'll just keep that going until we see that main event pop up. Not sure what the bout order is for that. Let me just look that up real quick. Yeah, Chisora should definitely win. I mean, Deontay shouldn't be fighting. He shouldn't have been fighting. I mean, he got really badly damaged in the two fights versus Fury. Then he got really beat up by Parker and by Zhang. So he should be done already. But I don't understand. I don't understand why he can't just sail off into the sunset. I think Chisora is a really bad retirement fight for him. This is a great retirement fight for Derek, you know. But in any case, let's see. Okay, so all right. Well, AI has the bout order for that all wrong because it's in any case. Let me just. Sorry, guys. Yeah, he definitely Wilder versus Joshua back in the day would have been a great matchup. Now that they've both been now that Wilder's shot, it's not a great matchup, and Anthony's also a little bit sus, but he's not as shot as Wilder. I mean, I really think Wilder's taking years off his healthy lifespan. Go Afroman, that's pretty funny. Hang on one sec, guys. I just want to look up the Martinez Alim fight bout order. Carlos, do you know where that fight is taking place? The Martinez fight? That'll make it easier for me to find on BoxRec. All right, now on the boxing card with the zone, we got Mannix and somebody doing little chit chat. I guess they're trying to promote the potential Boots Ennis versus Xander Zayas. Oh, okay, thanks, Carlos. How'd the day go? Pretty good. I got in some rough rounds with sparring, like 8 rounds, and then I went and got acupuncture, so that was good. Thanks for asking, Sonny. All right, hang on, let me Oh yeah, thank you so much, Carlos. You're right. It's San Bernardino. So looks like it should be the co-main on right now. Joshua Anton versus somebody whose name I can't pronounce for the WBC minor belt. All right. Unfortunately, my stream for that is not working very well. Let's see if I can find another one. Yeah, right now all I'm getting is a shot of the crowd. All right. Good. I'm glad your day was good, Sonny. So Mickey D, you're saying um Adames, which fight? The draw versus Hamza? All right, I think I got a stream for the Martinez Carter now. We're just kind of waiting. Yeah, the draw. Yeah, I mean, that was such a horrible fight. I mean, in that I felt badly for Hamza because I actually got to see him train. He's capable of so much more than what he showed in that fight versus Adames. So it was absolutely the right move for him to move over to Andy Lee. And of course, then the proof is in the pudding, right? Because then he knocks out Edgar Berlanga in 5 rounds in Edgar's backyard in New York City. So that was really great to see Hamza be able to do that. But that was just not a good fight. I mean, with Hamza just constantly going around the ring, and Adames tried to make the fight, but if you got a guy that's just gonna go around in circles, what are you gonna do with that? Hi, how are you doing, Digger? All right, Carlos, let me ask you this. All I'm getting is a shot of the crowd. Now I'm looking at some chick talking on a microphone, or she's singing. I don't know what she's doing. Is that the right feed? Yeah, Mickey D, I really respect Andy Lee's body of work, So he's done great things with more than a few fighters. And I wish him and Hamza Shiraz all the best. Okay, looks like in Florida we are getting the co-main event underway. It is a super welter, meaning 154 pounds, Omari Jones versus Christian Gomez. Okay, and on the Martinez Aline card, we're on commercial break at the moment. They're doing an ad for Pro Box TV. Hi, Sonny. Thanks for saying hi. All right, what other fights are you guys looking forward to? Are you guys gonna pay to watch Usyk fight a kickboxer? Not that I don't like Dutch kickboxers, but I just think it's a ridiculous matchup. All right, Omari is making his way to the ring. Okay, cool. Thanks, Carlos. Oh, interesting if they're putting it on YouTube. Then I don't even have to try to get an illegal stream, huh? All right, Sunny, so do you like orange Fanta or another flavor? All right, now on the DAZN card in Florida. Oh, I guess my stream is kind of stalling here because we're going around in a loop. This is Omari Jones versus Christian Gomez, and I'll tell you right now, it's Omari Jones is supposed to win. You like orange Fanta? Yeah, I hear it has a little caffeine in it, huh? So, do you like it for the caffeine or you just like the flavor? What do you guys think of that DAZN announcer, the Terminator dude? All right, here we go. You got Christian Gomez, who fights out of Mexico, taking on Omari Jones of the U.S. And on that other card in San Bernardino, we have, I think it's the co-main event making their ring walk. Really bad lighting at that venue for whatever reason. We have Kurtra Tio Abukarov. Sorry if I butchered your name. Kudratio Abukarov taking on Joshua Anton at 154 pounds for a minor WBC belt. Minor because it's a 10-rounder. Minor because that way they still get 3%. Yeah, these are just reading glasses. I don't know. I got them at the drugstore. I did actually bother to get a prescription for my eyes, but I don't know. I just haven't bothered going to get that filled at an actual optometrist. Oh, excuse me. So it looks like we might have two fights getting underway simultaneously here. Both at 154, so interesting. Oh, so this is the Martinez fight is on, I guess it's on a Pro Box card. I actually like their ring announcer. I can't remember his name, Lupe something. He's slick. I don't like the DAZN announcer. I find him kind of gross, but anyways. All right. In Florida, we got Jones versus Gomez just underway, both fighting out of orthodox stance. Jones is starting to open up right away in round one. He's throwing his right hand behind his jab. Level changing, going to the head and to the body. Gomez is mostly defensive at the moment, keeping that high double up. Blocking punches with his high double guard. Just got Gomez throwing single jabs at the moment, whereas Omari Jones has already started, as I said, to open up behind his double jab there. He just did a nice jab to the body, goes back upstairs. Yeah, Carlos, that's exactly what I'm talking about, the guy with the long dreads. Kind of grosses me out, but anyways. He's also on DAZN, the guy with the dreads and the glasses. Like, exactly. You know how long he's had that hair? for decades. And not to hate on people with dreads, but it's like after a certain point, it's just what's that about? Okay, hi Sonny, good to see you. Yeah, Carlos, I agree, right? Okay, so Joshua Kevin Anton is fighting out of Argentina, and I'm not sure where Karov is fighting out of. Oh, my bad. Maybe that's not Argentina. I apologize. I might have gotten this completely wrong. But it's a blue and white flag. Okay, I probably messed that up. Sorry, guys. Okay, back in Florida. You could see that Omari Jones has got quite the height advantage and the reach advantage over Christian Gomez. So I'm wondering if Gomez has actually moved up a weight division just like the other Gomez did, you know? Because he just looks like there's just such a size difference that, again, this is not like boxing does not have to be fixed. It's just very one-sided matchmaking because promoters want to protect their investment. They don't want this kid Omari Jones to lose. They didn't want Corey Marksman to lose, so they set him up with a B side that looks good on paper, but is just being set up to take an L. Hi again, Sonny. Okay, in California, we got a righty-lefty match. The southpaw is a much taller guy. All right, back in Florida. Their second round, scheduled for 8, has just started. In San Bernardino, these fighters are starting out a lot more cautious than the guys in Florida. It's mostly doing a fair amount of feinting and just barely jabbing. Okay, I don't expect this fight between Omari Jones and Gomez to go the distance, just because Gomez is sticking with that high double guard. He's at a size disadvantage. Omari can split that guard, land his jab or straight right down the middle. There, Omar landed a jab right hand to the body and went back upstairs. So we're only in round 2, and Omari's level changing and landing combinations. So. Okay, in the San Bernardino card, this long, lanky southpaw is not quite as tall as a towering Inferno Sebastian Fundora, but he's fighting behind a very disciplined guard. And his opponent, who's fighting out of righty stance, is trying to make his way to the body. He's throwing jabs and then right hands to the body, which is the right thing to do, but he's still a little bit too far away to be effective against such a tall southpaw. All right, thank you, not Amy. Carlos, which fight are you talking about next week? The Itama versus Franklin? Oh, Mickey D, you guys having a heat wave up there too? It's been pretty hot. I mean, it's not been like horrible, but it's like super warm. Like, oh yeah, Carlos, right. Yeah, the Fundora versus Thurman thing. There's also Itama versus Franklin. I'm almost more excited about that, even though it's supposed to be, that's supposed to be for Itama to win. But I'm almost more excited to see that fight than I am to see Fundora. How about you guys? All right, both fights are between rounds at the moment. For whatever reason, we got a doctor looking at one of the fighters in San Bernardino. Holy cow, did he just call this off? What is he doing? They're holding up, like, starting the round. Yeah, I'm definitely a Moses Itama fan, Mickey D. I mean, people hate on him because other people are comparing him to Tyson, but he's not saying that. So it's like, give the kid a chance, He's been winning by KO. All right, so I have no idea what the heck is going on in the San Bernardino fight. They're taking an awful long time between rounds. And I guess this guy is like complaining about his head. He's like holding both gloves up to his head and shaking his head like this. So I sure as heck hope he doesn't have some type of brain bleed. Oh yeah, they're taking his gloves off. The fight's over. So that's not good. They should just take him to the friggin' hospital right now. Doctor's doing all this crap. Man, just if the guy's complaining about his head, regardless whether he's BSing or he's real, take him to the freaking ER now. Like, why are they waiting? Mickey D saying that Moses is the future flag bearer of British boxing. I can definitely see to the ER if he's complaining about something in his head. He's trying to show, I guess, his trainer where it hurts or something. But he's indicating something's wrong, so I don't know if he took a shot to the top of the head or like back here, but not cool. I mean, not cool for them not to just get him the heck out of the ring and off to the ER. All right, well, in any case, I guess there'll be a long break and then we'll get the next fight. This is Herbie the Cat. Has no interest in the boxing stream, but he shows up anyways. Okay, in Florida, Gomez is trying to bob his way in to get closer to Omari Jones, but Jones is landing on him, and I don't think that Gomez is sticking with that high double guard, and he needs to bob and weave and throw punches simultaneously, not just try to get in and then throw a punch. He needs to throw a punch as he's getting in. That high double is not really serving him well from the distance he's at. Okay, so it was in fact Joshua Kevin Anton. I think he's representing Argentina. So sorry guys, I don't know what that flag is. It's light blue, white in the middle, and light blue on the side. Yeah, that's the Carlos Adames card is in Florida. So we're, I think, one fight away from Adames. So Omari Jones, I predict, is going to win this fight quite handily if he doesn't stop Gomez before the duration. All right, so right now we're on commercial break from Florida, and that fight ended rather unexpectedly and abruptly, so we're just looking at footage from the change room in San Bernardino on the Pro Box card. Oh, my bad. Okay, so it's Guatemala. Thanks. Thank you so much, Carlos. Appreciate that. Okay, so that makes sense. They're both from Guatemala. That's light blue with white in the middle with an emblem. Oh, let's get some light on here. There. Oh, cool. Thank you for that, Carlos. I had no idea. Is boxing pretty big in Guatemala? Oh, okay. What are the big sports there? Oh, here. Okay, here we go back with Omari Jones versus Christian Gomez. And Christian's just sticking with that high double guard, and I feel like he needs to bend his waist a little bit more, because Omari, with the height and reach, can just split his double guard. And then when Gomez goes to load up on the right hand like he just did, Omari just has to take a small step back or lean back, and he can make Gomez miss. You're probably right, Carlos. Probably soccer is a pretty popular sport in Guatemala. That would not be surprising. Okay, on the pro box desk, it looks like we got, of course, Paul Malignaggi. They're going to have to kill time here because that fight ended rather abruptly and unexpectedly, so... Did you guys catch the UFC card earlier today? I definitely want to go back and watch at least 3 fights. The judo guy, MVP, even though I heard it was kind of boring, and the main event. Alright guys, I'm just waiting for that. My stream kind of froze for the Jones versus Gomez, but here we go, we're back again. Yeah, Jones is he's winning this fight just with his, I shouldn't say just, but simply with his jab. Mixing targets up. He'll throw upstairs, downstairs, upstairs. He's just mixing it up. He doesn't need to do anything more than that. There he just opened up with a left hook right hand. Gomez still sticking with that vertical torso double guard. Mickey D, Phil Murphy was robbed, huh? Okay. That gives me even more incentive to check that out. Oof, Gomez just ate a hard right hand from Omari Jones. Yeah, Jones is just being super precise with that jab. And then as soon as Gomez starts a forward motion, Omari just backs up, which is, you're not supposed to do that, but he can get away with it because Gomez is smaller than him. All right, on the pro box card, we're killing time. They're giving us a lovely dark shot of nothing. The ring in darkness and the crowd in darkness. On the Florida card, we're now on break between rounds. So Mickey D feels the MVP fight was boring. Yeah, I think I watched a round and a half of it. People are saying that because MVP is a counterpuncher, if the other person doesn't press the action, then MVP has nothing to work with. But I would fault MVP for that, because if you're going to be the counter puncher, you got to entice the other person to throw punches at you or throw strikes at you, whatever it is. You have to sucker the other person in so you can counter. That's the whole art of being a counter fighter. You have to be willing to put bait on your hook. All right, we are waiting for action to zoom in Florida. Oh, here we go. Let's see, sorry, I'm trying to figure out what round this is. We are in round 5, scheduled for 8. I think Omari Jones is going to win all of these rounds. That's how it's going to come out, probably 80-72. If he doesn't get rid of Gomez before that. Oh, Mickey D saying nobody attacked the entire fight of MVP versus Patterson. Yeah, I heard they were also former sparring partners or something, so maybe I won't watch that one. Maybe I'll just watch the highlights and lowlights. All right, so not the greatest Saturday for fight action, unfortunately. All right, now we got Christian Gomez again with that frozen high double guard, just posing right in front of Omari. Omari is able to throw out his jab, double jab, jab to the head, jab to the body, and then move around a little bit. Set up his right hand, drop that in. Christian Gomez just isn't active enough, isn't pressing, cutting angles enough to be any threat to Jones. Okay, Mickey D, I will skip it. Thank you. Yeah, Christian Gomez doing a little too much posing and looking here in this fight, which is not gonna get him any rounds in the book, as we say. Gomez being the shorter guy with less of a reach and not the fastest guy, he's got to make it an ugly fight, which he's not. Just has to kind of be a bit of a bulldog, get his way in there, cut angles. Yeah, it's Jones versus Gomez right now. They're in round 8 of 10, I think, or is this? No, my bad. I think this is 6 of 10, or 6 of 8 rather. My fault. Yeah, now we just got Jones kind of dancing around her. I mean, why should he take any risks if he doesn't have to? He can just win this entire fight with his stick and move. Okay, and we are in the second half of this 154-pound matchup. For whatever reason, Omari Jones' team has the Banger Show. That's his team logo on their fight kits. Don't know if that's an actual show or it's just a cute phrase he decided to adopt. Okay, and we have cut to footage of Adames in the locker room. He's all smiles. Looks like a pretty upbeat guy. All right, here we are back in the ring. Omari Jones versus Christian Gomez. We are in round 6. This is scheduled for 8. So final 3 rounds for Christian Gomez to try to make something happen here. And right now, so we're waiting on Lester Martinez versus Emmanuel Aline to get started in San Bernardino. But it looks like Alim is just jumping rope. So it's like, I'm not sure what they told him, what the timeline is here. If they're just going to give them the entire time that bout should have taken up. But, if Alim is just starting to warm up, he's not even gloved up. I mean, it's going to be a while. So you guys are going to have to listen to Paul Malignaggi and the other 2 dudes on the desk ramble on about something. Oh, they got Robert Garcia, Florida. Omari Jones, jab to the head, right hand to the body. Then he just jab, right hand to the head. Gomez just still with the double high. His jab falls short, doesn't hit its target. catches some of Omari Jones's jabs on his forearms. Then he presses straight forward. He misses with the right hand. So he's, he's serving his purpose, Christian Gomez. But, I don't know how much we can fault Omari Jones for not taking any risks in this fight, but he's using nice lateral movement in his jab. I wish he would. He is putting his jab right hand together nicely, but I think in a fight that he's winning so handily, he could afford to try some of the stuff he was working on in the gym, whatever that may be. That's between him and his corner. See, this is the time when a good boxing trainer will push their fighter, even though they know their fighter's winning, and they don't have to do anything more than what they're doing to win. This is the moment, where you can ask your fighter to try certain moves that you've been working on, because this is how you really crystallize it for the fighter, is in actual competition. It's just like if you're winning the basketball game, you don't need your first string out there killing the other team. You can afford to put out your second line or your third line, right? And let them have a chance to hone their skills under the pressure of a real game. Well, in the boxing ring. Oh yeah, it's going to be a minute here in San Bernardino because Martinez is just putting on his shoes. He hasn't even started warming up. Okay, here's the thing I don't like that I'm seeing from Omari Jones is he knows he can just take small steps backwards to avoid getting hit by Christian Gomez, but why not ask him to cut angles and counter in tight, like just ask him to change things up. He knows what he can do with this guy, Gomez, who's not fast. He doesn't have the height advantage. He doesn't have the reach advantage. So just try some new moves. Try some different moves. All right, here we go. Jones versus Gomez. Final few rounds. This fight is taking place in Florida. Here we see Austin Williams warming up in the back. He's all gloved up. Gloves are signed off by the commission. So he's ready. Looks like he's ready to rock and roll here. All right, I've tuned Paulie Malignaggi out, so if you guys are listening, you can let me know what he's talking about. Final few rounds of this co-main event. Omari Jones, I think he'll pitch a shutout here versus Christian Gomez, who's durable but not really willing to engage, just standing straight up behind a high double guard, presenting Jones with more or less a target. Okay, now Jones is starting to open up. Maybe his corner did finally give the instructions to open up a bit on Gomez. Put together like 5 or 6 punches there, nicely. Jab to the head, jab to the body for Omari Jones. Nicely done. Again, jab to the head, jab to the body. Gomez, all he does is take a little step back and shell up a bit with that high double. Then step forward again. Just got picked again. Oh, goodness. He hit a hard right hand as now Omari's starting to circle around in tight. So he landed a nice short right hand. Jones using some very nice smooth footwork. Not sure that he'll get the KO here or the key KO versus Gomez, but I'm glad he is starting to open up a bit in these final few rounds, or at least in this 7th round scheduled for 8. I wish he would. Yeah, there he goes. He doubled up on the jab. That's what we want to see. We don't want to see single jabs like that one right there. Nice little lateral movement by Omari Jones. Cuts one way, then back the other way, circles around, doing a lot of lateral movement here. Then he backs straight up and then gets himself out of the corner nicely. But, you know, I'd rather see him circle in nice and tight. Work on that skill set. Because he's got a tough fighter in front of him who's durable and is just going to come forward. So, since Gomez isn't going to mix it up, you know, I think Jones can mix it up. Carl says, Paulie can definitely be a bit of a hater, but I think sometimes his hate is relevant, you know, like it just comes out harsh. Teddy Atlas I just find way more annoying, partly because he always yells the word bang. But okay, so like Paulie said that Barrios was probably the worst world champion ever. Yeah, you know, at the moment, technically, yeah, Barrios is just so flawed, and unfortunately, that 3-month camp or whatever he had to prepare for Ryan, he didn't change some of his fatal flaws, like single jab, feet too wide, you know, not throwing combinations, just not moving his head off the center line. I mean, in 3 months, he should have been at least been able to learn how to throw a double jab, triple jab. That's not asking for a lot. Footwork's something else. I mean, he could have worked on that. It could have improved a little bit. And certainly combinations in 3 months. Like in 8 weeks, no. But 3 months or more, yeah, he should have been able to make adjustments in those areas. Would he have won the fight? Probably not, but he would have performed better. I mean, it wasn't fishy, only in that Barrios he's just not that good. He really is flawed for, you know, he was what I call a manufactured world champion. He should never really have been a world champion. But the powers that be found a guy in Barrios who hails from Texas. That way they keep the Texas Commission happy because the Texas Commission gets a percentage of the world champion's purse, or even the challenger's purse. Of course, the WBC gets a percentage of his purse. So, you know, everybody's kept happy. The fight venues in Texas are happy. So, you know, it's like, it's all about the business. And then I think, if they just string this guy Barrios along for a certain number of title defenses, eventually they can cash out on him, which is what they did with Garcia, right? Because, like, just feed him to somebody who's going to make a lot more money and be done with him. And that's, I doubt we're going to see much of Barrios from this point forward. Is Pacquiao is just, you know, I know Barrios couldn't miss against Pacquiao, but I mean, yeah, Pacquiao is what, 40 something, and he was never, although he's speedy, he was really known for his power, his explosive power. Ryan's a different animal, right? So and that high double guard, you know, also did not serve Mario well because he's open for that left hook and that overhand right. All right, final round, Omari Jones versus Christian Gomez. And now in this last round, Gomez is actually using body shifting motions to try to get in on Omari. But it's like too little too late. I don't know why Gomez waited until the final round to show that he has this in his trick bag. This is exactly what he should have been doing from the get-go. But I guess he's just playing the role of opponent. And he just walks away as Jones dances around the ring. So, yeah. I mean, Jones won every single round of that fight. Gomez got a paycheck. Well, they're going to give Omari Jones that decision 80-72, I'm pretty sure. All right, a lot of Guatemala flags in the audience there in San Bernardino. Yeah, I wasn't overly impressed with how Omari Jones did in that fight. I mean, I feel that once he got past the second or third round, he could have really started to change things up a bit. Do you guys like kombucha? This is one of my favorite things to drink now. Oh, I didn't even know Afro Man won a lawsuit against the cops. What happened? I forgot. I mean, he cracked me up. I didn't even know he was still around doing stuff. All right, and of course, Omari Jones wins that decision. 80-72. Yep, every single round to Jones. All right, Carlos, I'll have to check out Afro Man after I get done with this. Okay, in San Bernardino, the fighters look like they're still warming up. Martinez is doing some deep knee bends and hip loosening. Why did they raid his house? That's ridiculous. That's funny. Well, it's not funny, but I mean, if you're fighting back with music.
Give him too much respect. No, Penin, we knew what his shirt was.
Oh yeah, Guatemala in the house in San Bernardino. Tons of those Guatemalan flags. So everybody's turned up for Lester Martinez. Good for him. I'm not sure why Omari Jones is still talking on camera. I guess we just need to kill time. In San Bernardino, we're waiting on Lester Martinez and Emmanuel Alim. In Florida, we are waiting on Carlos Adames versus Austin Williams.
Thank you for putting me on this platform. Thank you very much. Thank you. You showed a lot of respect for power during this fight. Do you think at times you felt?
All right, getting bored with this Omari Jones interview, but here we go. All right, in the San Bernardino, commission is finally signing off on Alim's gloves. Okay, now we are waiting on Carlos Adames versus Austin Williams. You like drinking kefir? Cool. Yeah, I can't drink dairy, so that one's like not on the list of stuff I can drink, but yeah, I would imagine it is good for you. I heard it's very healthy. Oh, cool. We've got a little background video here on Moses Italma. He's throwing a medicine ball against the wall. I guess they're, of course they're want to promote, his fight versus Jermaine Franklin next Saturday. Should be fun.
Putting out a fight just doesn't resonate with me. So I said, I got myself, I reckon I'll be alright. And then Frank was like, go get a scan. And I was out.
All right, we see Emmanuel Leem warming up on the mitts.
Frank volume, but just unfortunately, it was still causing us some issues, so we had to make the decision to postpone the fight.
Oh, they're talking about Itama getting injured, so they had to postpone the fight. Hi, Shamla, how are you? All right, I guess they're gonna show this Itama promo material before we get to the main event. Meanwhile, in San Bernardino, they're showing quite the crowd here in support of Guatemala's Lester Martinez. What are you guys planning to do tomorrow, Sunday? Are you gonna just rest? It's probably my list of things to do. I'll try to get in a early morning recovery run and then just chill. Are you guys fans of Moses Itama? I really like him. I like that he's such a technical heavyweight, explosive. He's a southpaw.
Take a big step when he's not ready. Walk forward, down, ready. Big step forward. We've kind of worked on every different in 5 years.
All right, now we're showing Moses Itama's strength routine. He's doing some resistance band jumps. He was doing some lateral jumps. Not sure what the injury was that he was referring to, but yeah. Guess that's worth me doing some research on, of course. Alright guys, we are between fights here, just trying to kill time. Pro Box is giving us a lovely shot of an empty ring. And the crowd. I mean, I do wish they'd be a little more creative when it comes to killing time between fights. Alright, right now we're basically waiting on the DAZN stream to resume. It's just like advert time. And in San Bernardino, we're watching Lester Martinez stretch out a bit in his change room, so don't know how long this can get. I mean, I'm assuming they probably figured the co-main event would go the distance, so they told the main event to get ready for a certain time, and now they just have to kill time since that co-main event was cut short. All right, Shamla, are you a fight fan? Guys, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell, and so you know when we go live and when our content is up. All right, everybody, we are waiting on Carlos Adames versus Austin Williams. We're also waiting on Lester Martinez versus Emmanuel Alim. So, share your thoughts with me on what fights you're looking forward to. I'm looking forward to Moses Itama. I am looking forward to Derek Chisora, even though he's fighting Deontay Wilder, which I'm not looking forward to, but I'm a Del Boy fan, so I like that fight. I mean, I'm curious about Usyk versus Rico. Anonymous, if you want to donate, you can just do a super chat up there or some jewels with a GIF. I'm not sure what the motivation is to comment that you've donated money when you haven't, but anyways. All right, in Florida, we're watching Austin Williams warm up on the mitts. He's a southpaw, so this will be an interesting matchup. Okay, still waiting for Adames versus Williams to make their ring walk. And in San Bernardino, we're still waiting for Lester Martinez versus Emmanuel Alim. In the meantime, guys, feel free to share your thoughts on some of the upcoming fights. How about the UFC? Are you looking forward to any matchups? Are you guys excited to see Israel Adesanya return versus Pfeiffer? I've been kind of over Israel Adesanya for a while. I was never really a huge fan. I'm a little put off by his outside the cage antics and whatnot, his persona. Not really into a dude that wears nail polish and pearls. I mean, more power to you for being whoever you want to be, but to me, it all just seems like he's trying to grab attention. Yeah, and Mickey D, I think Izzy has been done for a bit. I mean, after he got knocked out, I don't feel like he's ever really been the same. I have to give him credit for coming back, you know, from that knockout loss. Saddam is throwing some simultaneous counter punches in the warm-up. All right, so Mickey D, what do you think? Do you think Pfeiffer takes Izzy out? Do you think it goes the distance? All right, guys, help me out here. Who's the guy talking to Sergio Mora? Like, who is he in the context of the boxing world? I know Mora was a former fighter, but who is the other guy? Oh yeah, it's Joe Pfeiffer. He's a fighter out of Philly. Yeah, maybe if he's a pressure fighter, he can get to Izzy. I feel like Izzy, just got to a certain point and then didn't continue to grow, because he didn't want to admit that he needed to grow. Yeah, Mickey D. I don't know. Who was that guy? That was weird. Never seen him before. All right, we're still looking back at Carlos Adames in his change room. He's all gloved up. Looks like these guys are ready to go. I guess it's just the production is not ready to go yet. This is one of the criticisms Dana White has about boxing, and I have to agree with him. There's just too much dead time between the fights, and it just things drag on too long. Now on this San Bernardino card, this is actually painful. To be honest, I don't know if I'm gonna last the entirety of both of these fights. Kind of depends. All right, here we go in Florida. The Terminator is announcing Adames versus Williams. Finally, in San Bernardino, we still got Paulie talking. Hey, welcome, Eli. Thanks for joining us. We're here watching 2 boxing cards simultaneously. Yeah, Mickey D, 100% agree. It's getting much harder to watch boxing. At least with the UFC, you know, you're going to see some real fights, and you're not going to have to wait 20 minutes between each fight. Carlos, I just call him the Terminator because you remember that movie with the Terminator with the weird dreads? I'm just hating on the guy. All right, here we go. Austin Williams is making his ring walk. He is wearing a gold colored boxing outfit, gold orange. I'm not sure how I feel about fighters walking down a ramp by themselves to the ring. I feel like they almost stole that idea from the Japanese fight promotions where fighters come down a really long sloped ramp and stairs, make a very dramatic ring entry. I feel like that was like maybe something from Pride or like very old school Japanese fight cards. And now they kind of brought that over into boxing, and to me it doesn't quite work. I mean, I feel like a fighter should walk out with their corner because you're going to war together. But yeah. Okay, here we go. Carlos Adames is in the ring too. So I hope we get a nice performance from Adames. I mean, I'm a fan of his. Honestly, don't know much about Austin Williams at all. Carlos, who is Paulie talking to on the headset? Oh, Brandon Lee signed with Zuffa Boxing? That's kind of funny. Yeah, he kind of vanished. I wonder what his story is. Thanks for that tip, Mickey D. Yeah, he vanished for a minute. I wonder what that was about. Injury or just he's just stuck on the shelf for some reason. All right, Carlos Adames fights out of the Dominican Republic. You know, you guys know that Dominican Republic is the other half of the island that is, like they're very close to Cuba, so there's a lot of crossover in terms of athletes and fighting style. All right, Lester Martinez. Interesting, he has like a little braid with some beads in it. Wonder how that works out for fighting, you know? All right, what do you guys think? Do you think Adames can stop this guy? Oh, okay, cool. Thank you, Carlos. Oh, okay. All right. I guess they just had a dude in the house and they need to fill time, so he's a good guy to talk to. All right. Look, hopefully we get Martinez Aleem underway soon. I'm gonna have to be cross-eyed here as I watch both of these, or bug-eyed, or whatever you want to call that. See, Mr. Terminator, he like keeps saying his catchphrases 3 times because nobody responds to him. Anyways. Oh yeah, Mickey, do you remember that fight where Polly's like little braids were getting in the way, so they just freaking cut them all off? Like horrible haircut time. Yeah, that he didn't realize like we get our hair braided, but then you got to tie it back in a ponytail, otherwise it's gonna fly all over the place. But I think he also had beads in his dreads, so that made it even worse. But something a girl would know that a guy wouldn't know. Anyways. All right, let's see what Austin Williams can do here. All credit to Malignaggi, though. You know, he stepped to the plate when the opportunity was offered to him. You know, he went in there and fought Miguel Cotto, hung in there tough, and I think he earned a ton of respect by forcing his way through that fight. All right, Carlos, didn't Roach? You're saying Roach? Are you referring to Freddie Roach or Lamont Roach? Freddie Roach, I think, fought a lot on ESPN back when there were fights every week on ESPN. All right, here we go. Adames versus Williams. Okay, both fighters to the center of the ring. This will be an orthodox southpaw matchup. Oh, Lamont Roach. Yeah, okay. All right, hope to see some pretty boxing from Adames. Let's see what Williams has to bring to the table. Williams is bouncing incessantly in the corner, waiting for that opening bell. Yeah, right? Mickey D finally pro box Martinez and Aleem. Okay, here we go in Florida. We got Carlos Adames fighting out of orthodox, taking on Austin Williams, who's fighting out of southpaw. Adames, of course, is the reigning champion. He's defending his 154-pound belt. Let's see how Adames fares versus this southpaw in Williams. Both men opening up with jabs. Nice slip to the left right there from Carlos Adames, slipping Austin's jab. Oh, Austin with a nice 6-punch combination, all jabs and left hands. Williams' jab snaps Adames' head back. So Williams off to a quick pace start here. Adames very active, feinting upper body motions. Williams staying very disciplined behind his classic boxing guard and jab. Williams with that constant bouncing motion on his feet. Whereas Adames tends to use more upper body motion. Oh, Adames with the lead right hand. That's good punch versus the southpaw. Okay, my cat is trying to get my attention over here, so if you see a paw, that's him. He's doing all sorts of annoying things off camera here, this cat. Right there, right there. Okay. Adames using that upper body motion to try to close distance on Austin. Austin lands a nice straight left to Adames' bicep. Nice sharp jab from Adames. He's level changing well. Nice little tight weave there by Adames. Williams taking some small steps backwards, and that's the first round. I mean, I would like churros if I could eat them. They're probably not gluten-free, but I've never seen a gluten-free churro, so I'll have to wait till somebody develops those. They smell good, though, I'll tell you that much. Do you ever have churros with ice cream? That sounds really good. You know what I really liked in Los Angeles? I like the shaved ice. There's a shaved ice. Holy cow! Adames just flattened Williams. He fell right down on his front. This fight may not go the distance. Mickey D's saying the 168 pounds is wide open with the new generation fighters out with the old. That's an interesting observation. Hadn't really thought about that. All right, let's see if Adames can close the show here with after he dropped Austin Williams real hard there. Yeah, that was crazy. Double jab right hand for Adames. See, Austin kind of overreaches with that straight left, and then he stays in place, and that's how he got countered with the short right hand. Got dropped. Has to try to shake it off. And Adames just corners Williams, unleashes. Williams grabs around his waist. I think Adames knows he's got his opponent hurt and just has to get good placement here. Williams backs himself up against the ropes again. Adames knocks his head back again with a jab. Williams still in retreat, bouncing, but in retreat, puts himself in the other corner. Adames lands a hard right hand to the body. Oh, short little nice right uppercut as Williams tries to exit the corner. Williams putting himself on the ropes again, backs himself into a corner. He's got the high double guard up, but that's just an invite to hit me, saying hit me, hit me. Williams comes out swinging and does land a couple shots on Adames. Adames ties him up with an over grip. Referee separates them. Wow, this is turning out into an exciting fight. Just under a minute to go here. Carlos Adames says demolish on the back of his shorts, and that's what he's looking to do here. Jab right hand from Adames. Got Williams right in his sights. Williams comes back with a decent jab. Williams is in retreat, starts to put himself in a corner again. Adames just throwing out some throwaway jabs and then a hard right to the body. Adames misses with a big overhand right. Wow. And exciting first round for sure between Carlos Adames and Austin Williams.
Do you know that you heard him? That's the words from Kevin Cunningham to Ammo. Right there, we see that Ammo got blocked by a big punch. Big shot, body, tip of the chin, but the man got up. The next one.
All right, that was a perfect little short right hand by fun opening round here. Beautiful double right hand. Just had his head off to the left and he threw a double right hand. Okay, here we go, second round. This is turning out to be a fun fight. Here we go. Big fun fight there. Fun opening round. Carlos Adames is defending his WBC 154-pound belt versus challenger Austin Williams, who's a southpaw. And Williams just got dropped pretty hard in that first round from a short overhand right by Carlos Adames. And again, Adames throws out that lead right hand. And again, he throws out that lead right hand. Notice he throws it as he moves his head off the center line to the left. Really nicely done by Carlos Adames. Carlos Adames is from the Dominican Republic, and I think that a lot of athletes in DR camps with the Cuban teams, especially in combat sports. So for sure, you know, Adames was exposed to the Cuban style of boxing as an amateur. And so I think that's where he acquired a lot of his very slick defensive movements. Notice how Adames is using his upper body shifts. Oh, beautiful little slip there to the left by him. To his credit, Adames is not rushing to get a KO here after dropping Williams hard in that first round. He's being very disciplined and patient, slowly closing in on Williams. I really like how he's just throwing touch jabs and touch lead right hands. They just mixed it up right there with a right hand to the body, then right hand to the head. Lead right hand to the head. Trying to figure out what Adames is setting Williams up for, but double left hooks there from Adames. Another lead right hand from Adames. Nice upper body movement. Notice how Adames doesn't always go to one side like some fighters like Ryan Garcia, like Tin Zhu. He goes to both sides here. Jab right hand to the body from Adames. Williams is constantly just taking small steps backwards and throwing out that single jabs from behind a high double guard. Right, looks like in San Bernardino we're finally getting to the national anthem or something. Okay, and there we go. Second round in the books for Carlos Adames, who's defending his WBC 154-pound belt versus Austin Williams. Adames had a beautiful little right-hand knockdown of Williams in the first round. He did definitely have Williams hurt. Adames spent the second round being quite patient. Just used a lot of touch jabs and touch right hands. Let's see what he decides to do in the third round. Alright guys, excuse me for one moment. I gotta go grab something else to drink. It's even though the sun's gone down, it's pretty hot here. I'll be right back. right, we're back. Okay. Oh, Carlos Adames with a right uppercut body shot that looks like maybe was a little bit low. Williams walks back to the corner. I assume the ref is giving a timeout right now. Oh, okay. It was 2 body shots, a left body shot, a right body shot. It looks like the left might have strayed below the belt line. It's hard to tell because it used to be that fighters were required to have the belt line be a different color from the trunks, but now everybody's, into fashion, so his belt line and his trunks are the same color, so it's hard to tell from a distance. Regardless, the action has resumed between Carlos Adames and Austin Williams. Austin switching momentarily there from southpaw to right, and he just got clipped with another little short right hand by Carlos Adames, who is the reigning 154-pound WBC champion. All right, Williams trying to change his target up here and throw a left to the body, but Williams is just missing pretty widely with his headshots. Single jab there from Austin Williams. Probably a mistake versus a technician such as Carlos Adames. Oh, nice lead right hand and some very slick footwork there by Carlos Adames. Wow, Adames can just go to town here. It looks like he's going to show out a little bit. He's not showboating, but he is showing us his technical trick bag. Adames just taking these very disciplined small steps to close distance in on Williams. Williams is trying to hold his ground and fire back, but on the inside, Adames just got off another body shot. I love how Adames is able to slip Austin's jab to the outside. And he's slipping it just by a hair's breadth, which shows you how much skill he has. Terrific stuff. Williams almost seems a little bit mesmerized by Adames's upper body movement. Kind of like the snake charming thing going on here. I like how Adames switches up and just threw a hard jab, hard right hand after spending most of round 2 just throwing touch jabs and touch right hands. He's reduced Austin Williams to just throwing single jabs with a lot of space between. Then we have Austin with a straight left attempt that didn't land. Austin with the right hook attempt that didn't land. Okay, and that's the round. Williams looking a little bit worse for wear. Still. All right, finally, it looks like we got Lester Martinez in the ring. Representing okay, so Adames corner's telling him to touch the head and then bang to the body.
When he throws those long punches, that's when you can catch him with shoulder shots. I need you to be alive. I need you to be.
All right, so we can expect to see more body shots from Carlos Adames in this round. Let's see how this plays out. All right, and right away, Adames is advancing forward again using that upper body movement. Another lead right hand from Adames. Austin Williams continues to fight behind a high double guard, but he's taking small steps backwards, throwing single jabs, then shelling up, moving backwards. All right, Martinez and Aleem is finally underway. Martinez in the bright turquoise trunks. Aleem in also wearing blue trunks with blue and black with lots of fringe. What do you guys think? Is fringe cringe or is it okay? All right, lots of single jabs between Martinez and Aleem here in this opening round. Martinez attempted a bit of a kind of trying to level change there, jab to the body. Back in Florida, oh, 3 straight right hands from Carlos Adames, and then he switches back to a jab and then a right hand. He's got Austin Williams moving around, trying to escape. Austin comes back with a single hard jab. Another slip to the left, straight right hand from Adames. Austin having some success. He landed that single jab, but he misses with his straight left. Let's see if Adames does indeed go to the body, as his corner asked for between rounds. Oh, nice up right hand there. Normally we see up jabs, but Adames threw an up right hand. Okay, with Martinez and Aleem, we see a lot of single jabs. Martinez seems to want to drop that lead right hand as he leans away. Not sure if that's going to turn out. Using a bit of that shell guard to, again, lean away. Back in Florida, Austin Williams tries to put together 3 or 4 single jabs. Adames continues his forward pace. He's closing distance on Williams. Lands hard jabs and then a right hand. Williams seems shut down to just single jabs at this point. Okay, in San Bernardino, it looks to me like Aleem is being the slightly more active fighter here. Basically just throwing a lot of jabs. Not sure if Martinez just wants to use this as a feeler out round, but that was the first round in the books. And might have to give that one to Aleem based on activity.
Dipping to the left, barely missing that jab. Is Adames and they make catching him with that right hand. This is what I mean by underrated defense.
Yeah, really nice work here by Carlos Adames. Shows you what you can do if you have decent head movement and can tell exactly how much to move your head. Notice Adames doesn't move his head way off to make Austin Williams miss by a mile. He misses by a fraction of an inch. Okay, we are underway again with Carlos Adames, who dropped his opponent Austin Williams quite hard in that opening round with a couple of counter right hands. Williams starting to come alive now here. Fired off 4 or 5 punches in close with Adames, but Adames is willing to stand and trade as well, and landed a series of right hands. Now Adames, both men starting to open up here. Adames went down. Left hook to the body. Austin Williams staying toe to toe. Guess we're gonna bang it out here, guys. 2 right uppercuts by Adames, and then he weaves right under Austin's punch. This could turn out to be an idea for Austin Williams. Wow, okay. Carlos Adames with another hard right hand to the head. He's got Williams against the ropes. Williams grabs, overhooks. Ref separates him. Not sure why Williams is choosing to stand toe-to-toe with Carlos Adames, but maybe he's just out of gas, out of ideas. But we got Austin Williams backing up, putting himself in a corner, trying to shell up, throw single jabs. Adames goes downstairs to the right hand to the body, right uppercut to the body. The men tangle up. In San Bernardino, can Lester Martinez become the first world champion from his home country? Martinez just walking a lean down right now. Oh, nice double jab right hand, followed up with another double jab. Oh, lead right hand, left hook by Martinez. In Florida, Adames with the double right hand, left hook to the body. He's got Austin Williams in the corner. Another right hand to the body by Adames, and he comes upstairs, right hand to the head. Williams looks done. He's just backing up with his both hands up. And then he ties up. In San Bernardino, Martinez starting his march forward. He's able to land his jab right hand. He just switched it up there to a short little right instead of a straight right. All right, I'm not sure how much longer Austin Williams can hang in there with Adames. All right, so Williams' corner's telling him he's backing up and retreating, which is exactly what he's doing. Guys, if you enjoy the live streams, don't forget, you can always leave a super chat or some jewels, or you can wait till later and leave a super thanks on one of the videos. If you haven't yet had a chance, please do check out my fights. They are the ones with the purple thumbnails. Tell me what you think of my fights. All right, here we go. Back in the ring, or back in action in the ring, we have Carlos Adames versus Austin Williams. Adames with a nice hard knockdown of Adames in the opening round. We are in the 7th round, scheduled for 12. Adames is defending his WBC 154-pound belt versus the southpaw Austin Williams, who's effectively lost every single round. He got dropped in the 2nd round. So from that point forward, Adames has lost. Adames has won every single round. Williams apart at this point. Oh, thanks, Carlos. I appreciate you. I know you always contribute when you can, so thank you for that. Back in San Bernardino, we got Martinez starting to open up with a variety of punches here. We saw a nice little jab, tight right uppercut. Aleem is mostly still just throwing his single jab at the moment and then covering up. Double high guard. Back in Florida, we got Adames just hunting Williams down at this point. Williams is keeping his high double guard up, but as his trainer said, hey, he's in retreat mode. He is trying to fire back single jabs, but it's just, how long can he keep Adames off of him? Like how Adames is using the body feinting motions. If you can feint with your body, you don't have to feint with your punches. Ooh, and Adames just snapped Williams' head back hard with a jab right there. Notice how Adames keeps his head in constant motion like that. Makes it very difficult to hit because it's just so distracting. You can't get a read on where his distance is at. Now Adames is starting to get playful with that. He's level changing with his head and changing what side he's on. Adames just landing those straight right hands at will, it seems. Adames now dropping his hands lower and still able to slip. This is round 7 of 12, scheduled for 12. Will this fight go the distance? Adames with a slick little spin around there. But we're really not seeing much from Williams. I'm wondering if Williams' corner doesn't stop the fight at a certain point, like in the next few rounds.
Take a deep breath. ¿Cómo vamos, Tú sabes lo que se impone ahora contigo. You know what he's trying to do right now? Come on, man, I need you to box now. You need to secure the rounds now. You need to secure rounds. Don't start exchanging with him.
All right, Adames' trainers tell him not to exchange with Williams, to just box. Back in San Bernardino, can Lester Martinez do it? Can he become the first Guatemalan world champion? He's landing his right hand nicely, his jab right hand. All right, now Adames and Williams are standing toe-to-toe, and Williams actually landed a couple punches on Adames. Adames' corner asked him not to do this, not to exchange with him, and to simply to box rather than exchange. Adames is throwing really hard right hands at Williams. Really like how he slips to the left there and then throws that right hand. Back in San Bernardino, we see Martinez level changing and throwing some nice jabs, then doing the lean back to avoid Aleem's jab. I haven't seen that much variety from Aleem. He's moving around nicely, but Aleem is just throwing single jabs at this point. That's not going to be enough to win him this fight. Double jab, right hand by Carlos Adames lands nicely. And then Carlos is always mixing in his level changes as well. So he's level changing up and down. He's also he's slipping left and right. Then he mixes in his footwork with that, and it's very confusing, like he did just there, where he pivots around. It's very confusing for his opponent. All right, back in San Bernardino, we have Aleem still throwing mostly just jabs and then moving around. Martinez, Lester Martinez got him on to win a world title. Okay, in Florida, Austin Williams is hanging tough. He's trying to stand there with the hard-hitting Carlos Adames, but at this point, it's Adames' fight to lose. Although he might have lost the first round after dropping Austin Williams in the second with a hard right hand, he's won every round since. Final few seconds here. Another jab right hand for Adames. And that's the round. Back in Florida, we have landing a lead right hand. Martinez reminds me of one of those fighters, and I wouldn't say they swing their punches, but he just looks like long-limbed and he uses a lot of torque on his I won't call them arm punches, but they're kind of loopy, they're kind of wide a little bit.
Adames touching him, getting an angle.
Right, Austin Williams' corner. He's got a good corner. Williams' corner is trying to get the best out of him, and that's what they're supposed to do. All right, the only question here is, will Williams finish this fight? Will Adames be able to stop him? A nice double jab there by Austin Williams. And Adames again throws that lead right hand. San Bernardino. Martinez is starting to open up here a bit on Aleem. Aleem's trying to use that low lead hand guard. And then he switches up to a high double guard, but I don't see enough from Aleem in terms of variety of punches. He's got a lot of jabs, single right hand. Oh, nice left hook to the body, left hook to the head by Lester Martinez. In close. Oh, nice uppercut by Austin Williams. But is this too little too late for him? I don't know that Austin Williams can turn the tide of this fight. Nice little left body shot there by Austin Williams. Nice jab by Austin Williams. Not sure why Adames is choosing to stand right there. Nice little weave under by Adames with a step back. What I don't like about Adames is what Adames is doing right now is he's starting to see his right hand a little bit too much. In San Bernardino, we have Lester Martinez. Looks like he's handily winning these rounds simply with output and more variety of punches. He's putting his combinations better together than Aleem is. Martinez also has more upper body movement. Carlos Adames with some really nice hard 1-2s. Then he's sort of mocking Austin Williams by dipping down really low and just looking up at him. Oh, nice pivot move around by Carlos Adames. Ooh, very hard jab right hand by Adames. Oh, beautiful double jab and then a slip. Or roll, rather. That just comes from years and years of practice. Oh, Aleem landed a nice right uppercut on Lester Martinez. Right, I think right at the close of the 4th round. Oh, Austin Williams starting to open up here just at the end of the round. Carlos Adames needs to be careful here because looks like Williams is still a live dog, and I give credit to his trainer for keeping him in this fight. Okay, so great advice in Austin Williams' corner. He's saying he wants a left hand, straight left hand, right uppercut. Nice little tight combination.
Touching him, getting an angle.
Yeah, I like how Austin Williams' corner is really getting the most that they can out of him, which is their job, you know. You can know that you're the B side on a card, but you still have to do everything in your power to try to get the most out of your fighter. to have them win the fight, not just to be active. All right, back in San Bernardino. The fight's starting to open up a little bit between Lester Martinez. Oh, nice left hook to the head, left hook to the body from Martinez. Aleem tries to close in with a body shot, and then the men tangle up. Okay. In Florida, we have Carlos Adames defending his WBC 154-pound belt versus Austin Williams. At this point, Adames is handily winning the fight, but Williams, thanks to his corner, is showing us he's still a live dog. We are in the 9th round, scheduled for 12. Williams still backing up. He is, in fact, in retreat mode for sure, but let's see if he can do what his corner asked, which is to throw the straight left and then a little tight right uppercut. Okay, there he came with the straight left. Adames has him in the corner at the moment. Williams seems to have the best success with his little tight uppercuts on the inside. Back in San Bernardino, we got a little bit of tying up, and then Martinez comes back with the double jab right hand, and then a nice little tight left uppercut straight up the middle. Back in Florida, still got Carlos Adames firing hard jabs and hard right hands. That straight right hand is really the key weapon he's using against Austin Williams. Look at that nice head movement by Carlos Adames. By constantly presenting a moving target to your opponent, it's I wouldn't say it's mental overload, but it helps to add to the mental overload. In San Bernardino, Lester Martinez is starting to get a little bit cute in the ring. He's throwing up jabs and bending over and firing an upright. Back in Florida, credit to Austin Williams for hanging tough. This has not been an easy fight for him by any means. Oh, okay, so now Austin Williams, trainers tell him, hey, you're in the fight, but you keep moving backwards. And that's what's costing him. And he's right. When Williams is coming forward, that's when he's doing his best. All right, back in San Bernardino, we have Aleem charging forward on Lester Martinez, trying to close distance, and they clinch up. Getting a little rough and tumble here with the forearms and the face and whatnot. Back in Florida, we got Adames defending his 154-pound belt versus Austin Williams. And can Austin pull it off? Can he pull off the upset? Well, he must be in great shape because he's coming out this round bouncing on his feet. Not sure if that's a psych move on his part, but maybe his trainer gave him some inspiration to come out here hard and try to win this fight. I mean, I think he's down on all scorecards, but as they say, everybody always has a puncher's chance. Back in San Bernardino, it looks to me like Lester Martinez is winning this fight. Maybe he can become the first Guatemalan to hold the world title. Nice lead right hand there by Lester Martinez. I would say his opponent, Emmanuel Aleem, just does not have quite enough variety to overtake this fight here. He's mostly just stuck with jabs, single jabs and then the occasional right hand. Over in Florida, Carlos Adames continues to walk Austin Williams down. Williams has gone back into retreat mode, moving along the ropes. Oh, and he just caught there with a nice, but a pretty hard right hand. Williams still moving around the ring, scooting along the ropes here, puts himself in the corner, gets out. What happened there? Did they just stop the fight? No, oh, the mouthpiece came out. Ref put it back in. Oh, Adames with a hard right hand to the body for Williams. Williams back in retreat mode now, putting himself towards the ropes. He's trying to fire back off the ropes, but I don't think he has enough at this point to keep Adames off of him. Adames is just picking his shots, being very patient. Adames can get away with throwing single shots at this point. Like, these single jabs are penetrating, so are the single right hand. Left hook right hand by Adames. Single jab, right hand. Williams is back in the other corner. Final 10 seconds. Austin comes forward with a double jab straight left. But again, he goes back into retreat mode. And that's the round. All right. In San Bernardino, we are in 8 rounds, in the 8th round.
That's the shot I'm talking about. You can't roll with the punches when you get hit. That's all in your face as a southpaw. Clean shot, knocked the mouthpiece out of that pocket, shook the legs of Hamaguchi.
All right, here we go in the 12th and final round for Carlos Adames, who is defending his 154-pound belt versus Austin Williams. And it looks like, unless Williams gets a KO in this round, this is a successful defense for Carlos Adames. And over in San Bernardino, it looks like Lester Martinez might become the first Guatemalan to ever hold a world title. He's landing his jab and his right hand quite consistently versus Emmanuel Alim. All right. So Carlos Adames with a hard right hand, another hard right hand. Adames misses with a right uppercut. He can just keep pecking away at Williams here. Williams throws back, but doesn't land on his target. Lead right hand. Adames with a nice little right uppercut. All right, now Austin Williams got hit with a low blow. Not sure what the ref's going to do here. Oh, wow. Ref took a point from Carlos Adames for low blows. Adames acknowledges it. Back to the center of the ring. We have about just under 2 minutes to remain here. Williams is going to hopefully make it to the final bell, but to his credit, he's throwing hard. He's showing he has the fighting spirit, trying to bang as hard as he can towards the finish. Adames just circling around him. Picks away with that jab. Adames with a series of jab right hands. And he slips to the left. About a minute remaining here in this world title fight defense for Carlos Adames. To his credit, Williams is still firing away. Williams' head just got snapped back by one of Adames' right hands. Nice right uppercuts by Adames. Williams is hanging tough with him, firing right back. Well, we got to give Austin Williams a ton of credit here for making it through this whole fight. Adames with a jab, right uppercut, right hand. I don't know why Austin Williams is waggling his tongue at him, or maybe that's what it looked like anyways. Final few seconds here. Successful title defense for Carlos Adames. He will remain the 154-pound world champion. The fighters acknowledge each other. And at this point, I think it's just academic. I don't think there's any question that Carlos Adames successfully defended his belt. All right, over in San Bernardino. Lester Martinez may be Guatemalan world champion. He snaps back Alim's head with a jab. Can't tell if it's just a camera angle, but this looks like a pretty small ring. Lester Martinez fights with his lead hand low, circles around, goes back to a high double guard, then kind of a shell guard. Interesting upright hand from Lester Martinez. I would say Martinez is basically winning on volume alone here, simply because Alim doesn't really throw much, doesn't throw enough, rather. All right, guys, how did you score that fight? And still or end new? I think it's definitely going to be end still. Okay, in San Bernardino, we got Emmanuel Alim moving around the ring. If this fight continues to play out the way it is, then I think we have the first Guatemalan world champion in boxing in Lester Martinez. All right, what about Wardley Dubois, you guys? Who do you have? I think that's a fun fight. Two heavy hitters. Wardley always shows us that he somehow finds a way to win. So let's hear it for the white-collar boxer. All right, in San Bernardino, we still got Lester Martinez pecking away at Emmanuel Alim. Alim seems content to kind of stand there, pose a little bit, move, but you don't win a fight by moving around like that, so. $117 to $109. And still, of course. So 117 means they gave him 9 rounds out of 12. Okay.
against a championship opponent. So that's the reason I think he looks so.
All right, on the Pro Box card in San Bernardino, we have Lester Martinez taking on Emmanuel Alim. We are in the 10th round, scheduled for 12. Right now, I would say Martinez is winning this fight quite handily based on output alone. With a single jab, he's able to knock Emmanuel Alim's head back. Alim is pretty much sticking to that high double guard, so Martinez is able to split the guard. Well, this will be interesting. Nice jabs to the head, jabs to the body. I like how Martinez mixes it up with his jab into the target area and in terms of the rhythm and tempo. Alim trying to land some hard shots as he closes distance, but he hasn't quite figured out how to close distance without getting picked off by Martinez's hard jab right there. Martinez also making better use of the angle than Alim, who seems to have just a linear motion. Alim misses with a big right hand there. Both men with the action at the center of the ring. We're in the 10th round, scheduled for 12. Lester with some nice head movement. Backs up. Martinez is the one moving around the ring, but he's not in retreat mode. I would say he's using that lateral motion to set up his punches. Whereas Alim has just mostly got that high double guard and trying to come forward behind a high double guard, which has not really worked out that well for him. Less than half a minute to go here in the 10th round. Big overhand misses for Lester. He switches momentarily to southpaw stance. So interesting, creative fighter Lester Martinez is. Covers up, crouches down, throws a left hook. And that's the round. Veteran move by Lester Martinez to end the round right in his corner. That way he doesn't have to walk anywhere and his opponent has to walk all the way back to his corner. Doesn't seem like a big deal, but when you are tired and it's the 11th round of a title fight, walking all the way across the ring, which is the biggest distance in the ring, I mean, the more you can make your opponent work when you don't have to, it's to your advantage. All right, they're trying to get Alim to breathe a little bit here in the corner between rounds. We are in the championship rounds here. Will Lester Martinez become the first Guatemalan world champion? We will see very shortly. Alim manages to catch Martinez on the ropes with a body shot. So will Aleem come alive in these final closing rounds? Nice little sneaky right uppercut there by Martinez. And again, Aleem's going down to the body. Martinez with another short right uppercut. Great jab by Martinez. Oh, great double jab by Martinez. Knocks Aleem's head back a couple times. I like Martinez's variety of punches. Crowd's going wild for Martinez. To his credit, Liam had a nice couple of parries of Martinez's double jab. Then the men clinch up. Will Lester Martinez become the first Guatemalan world champion? We have about 6 minutes or 5 minutes to figure this out. Oh, nice body shot there by Aleem. Starting to turn into a bit of a rough and tumble fight here with the men standing toe-to-toe, clinching up a little bit. Nice little short hooks there by Aleem. He's having the best moments in the fight here when he's in close with Martinez, standing toe-to-toe. Martinez nods at him to say, yeah, come on. Nice 1-2 by Martinez. Nice little hook, right uppercut by Martinez. Another little right. These little right uppercuts are landing very nicely for Martinez, and the crowd is going crazy. Very pro-Martinez crowd here in San Bernardino. They're loving the action. This is turning into a fun fight right now. Final rounds of the championship fight. Nice little check hook there by Aleem. He's doing his best work when he's standing right toe-to-toe with Lester Martinez. Martinez puts up the high double, puts himself in the corner. Not sure where he wants to do that. Fancies himself a counter puncher. Aleem grabs a guillotine headlock, and the ref breaks him apart. 1-2 from Martinez. Very nice short right uppercuts by Martinez. And again, it's one of his best punches, that little right uppercut. Aleem with a nice series of shots there in this 11th round. Not sure why he didn't open up like this earlier in the fight. Big left hook there for Aleem landed well. See, now, he's not going to win the fight on points, so his only shot here is to stop Lester Martinez in this 12th and final round, so.
Martinez trying to get to the finish line.
All right, this is turning into a fun fight here in the final rounds. Lester Martinez versus Emmanuel Aleem for a belt. Here we are in the final round, and Aleem came alive finally in the 11th round. I think he knows he needs a knockout or a stoppage, so he's going to go for it here in the 12th and final round. Let's see if Lester Martinez can hold him off. Nice little right uppercut on the inside by Martinez. Nice jab by Martinez. Nice right hand by Martinez. Oh, nice slick right hand move and a rollout by Lester Martinez. Oh, beautiful left hook right hand. Classic stuff from Martinez. Great upper body movement and head movement by Lester Martinez. Aleem is trying his best, but Lester Martinez is landing his jab. Oh, left body shot, right hand by Martinez lands well. We got 2 minutes left for Emmanuel Aleem to try to pull off a last minute turnaround here, but Martinez is using his jab well. And again, he snaps Aleem's head back. He raises his arms. The crowd is going crazy, cheering. They're on their feet, clapping, chanting. Aleem has been reduced to dropping his lead hand and throwing single jabs. That's not going to win him the fight. He had his best success when he was standing toe-to-toe with Lester Martinez. Just over a minute to go here in this 12th and final round. Nice up jab by Lester Martinez. Aleem trying to be cute, but he's not throwing any leather, and that's not going to win him this fight. Under a minute to go here. Emmanuel Aleem needs his TKO or a KO out of nowhere if he wants to become a champion. Lester Martinez, very creative. Right hand, jab. Lester's still looking quite fresh. Jab right hand with Aleem. Trying to move around on the outside. Aleem, by backing up, puts himself towards the ropes, which again is not going to win him the fight. Aleem can dance around all he wants, but he's given this away. He's given this final round away. Had his best round in the 11th. Lester Martinez with the right hand, and another right hand lands nice. Martinez with a couple jabs to the body. This is plenty. And there we have it. That's definitely Lester Martinez's fight. Good for him. The crowd, very pro Guatemala. You can see all the flags in the crowd. You can see the turquoise. Martinez walks over to acknowledge Aleem's corner. Sign of good sportsmanship. Aleem goes over to Martinez's corner. That's Bomac in Martinez's corner. How about that? Not sure if Lester Martinez moved his camp to Bomac's gym, or Bomac was imported to train Lester Martinez.
It is in the hands of the judges.
All right, so the commentator just said something really dumb, which is it's in the hands of the judges. It's like, I think we already know what that is.
Chose this fight to show the world what he is all about. A proud nation awaits the official decision. As we've talked about all night, Guatemala well represented here tonight.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Carlos. I didn't know Bomac was Martinez's trainer. I'm not sure why all the whistlings. Aleem's trainer's holding up his hand.
Omar Ali.
Oh, that's his dad, I see.
We are set for the official decision of our main event. Here is Lupe.
Okay, here we go.
Damas y caballeros, después de completar ya esta es la decisión oficial. Ladies and gentlemen, after going the distance, the official scorecard reads as follows. La juez Kais anotó 120 a 108. Judge Sky scores it 120 to 108. El juez Villarreal.
120, 108.
18 a 110. Judge Villarreal scores it 118 to 110.
118 to 110.
119 a 109. Judge Young scores it 119 to 109.
119 to 109.
El campeón interino peso super medio del CMB and now the WBC interim super middleweight champion. De Guatemala para
Ah, it's the interim belt. Lester Martinez. Well, congrats to him. Do you guys count interim as a legit world title? Congrats to Lester Martinez and the nation of Guatemala. The crowd is going crazy over there in San Bernardino. Alright guys, final thoughts on UFC or boxing tonight. It's over 2 hours. We'll give everybody a couple minutes to make their final comment, and then I'm going to call it a night because I'm pretty beat from working out since this morning, which was live streamed, to sparring, to getting some acupuncture. It's been a day. So, any final thoughts, UFC or these two boxing cards? Thanks, Carlos. Thanks for joining us. That was a well-deserved victory for both Carlos Adames and for Lester Martinez. I'm glad we didn't have any robberies or really moments of controversy, I don't think. I didn't. Oh, great question, O2. I didn't see that fight. I was rooting for Lerone Murphy. I'm gonna have to watch it back and see what's up. So, yeah, I'll have to take a look at that. But thanks for mentioning that. All right, guys. Any final thoughts? We're gonna close it out in a few moments. All right. I appreciate you guys joining me. Or sorry, that's D2 Cool 27. Yeah. I'll have to go back, watch a replay of that main event, Murphy versus Evloev, and do a breakdown of that. So again, please make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, give us a thumbs up. If you're feeling in a generous mood, you can leave a super chat or throw some jewels our way. Or if not tonight, then you can always go back on any video and leave a super thanks. Yeah, well, D2, yeah. Hit us up with a super chat or super thanks on one of the videos when it drops. And oh, thank you so much. You're awesome, man. I love it. I love it. Appreciate the gift. You are too cool. That's awesome. Thank you. But I'm gonna close it out, guys. D2, thank you so much. And I appreciate the input, appreciate everybody's input. Enjoy doing these live streams for you guys, and I appreciate your comments. So, thanks again, and we'll see you the next time. You got it, D2. I appreciate your generosity. Thank you.